Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. First off, I'd like to say a big thank you to Miss Happily Aaron for subbing in and doing anime news last weekend. That was awesome. Also, on Friday, I was on Friend Zone, right? And I had this crazy green glitter stuff all over my eyelids, and it still hasn't quite gone away. I don't know how much you can see on this show ever. I'm never sure how many details are there, but if you see weird shimmery things on my face when I sway to certain angles, it's probably that glitter. Oh man, but guys, Steam sale is going on right now, and it's hilarious because if you're looking at all of the different sales every day, every now and then, people are seeing ones where stuff is on sale to the point that it's in the negatives, like -$7, -$5, 125% off. It's so weird. Obviously you can't buy it. Like, there's no way for you to actually purchase that thing, but whenever it shows up, I'm like, what? For our first piece of news, Minecraft. Minecraft has now hit 54 million sold across all platforms, which is crazy, but is not the crazy thing that I want to talk about. The crazy thing that I want to talk about is that the sales on console, which at this point is Xbox 360 and PS3, have surpassed the sales on PC. Like, how? Why did that happen? I literally can't wrap my mind around that. Minecraft was on PC for so long, even in alpha and beta mode. I don't even care. They were always open, right? It was on PC for so long before it hit console, and now console sales have surpassed PC sales. That blows my mind. What is it about the console version of Minecraft that's appealing? Is that horrible to say? Like, even if we just focus on the YouTube community, right? There are lots of YouTubers doing Minecraft right now, and some of them, not all of them, but some of them focus entirely on console. They're like, I am a Minecraft 360 player, and that's what I do. Great. And more people have some sort of a PC in their home than some sort of a console in their home. So when did this happen? Suddenly nature and technology are freaking out around me. Anyways, maybe you guys can shed some light on that. Also, they've announced that if you had a last-gen console version of Minecraft and you want the current-gen console version of it, you can only pay $5 and be able to transfer your game from one to the other. So say you had the PS3 version and you wanted to transfer it to the PS4 version, you could do that for $5. Lots of Steam keys were stolen for Sniper Elite 3 for some reason. There was a huge amount of specifically Steam keys that were stolen and then resold to a bunch of different distributors, which is very strange. And so all of those sales, of course, didn't benefit the developer or Steam at all. Anybody who bought those keys, their access has been revoked from the game, which kind of sucks. It sucks because there's a high probability that some of the people who bought those keys have no idea that it wasn't legit. So since it went through a weird back channel and they can't actually refund for the game, they're making it so that their new DLC is free and encouraging people to go back to whatever seller they got the key from and ask for a refund or demand a refund, depending. All of the details are on their community page, which I can link in the description, and if you were one of the ones who unfortunately bought one of those keys and now can't play the game, you can buy the game again and then have the DLC for free, like I said, but definitely go to whoever you bought it from and be like, yo, what's up with this shit? Hey. Calm down. What's happening to you? Feeling so many feelings? Do you want to talk about YouTube with me? So YouTube is going to be rolling out a bunch of different changes. They also changed their dashboard over this week, which I find super obnoxious because it's really hard to get to my channel for some reason, and that's very stupid, huh? But the biggest announcement that the gaming community is really excited about is having 48 frames per second and 60 frames per second available for your videos in the future. So what this means is that all gameplay and trailers down the line have the possibility of being in 60 frames per second, which, by the way, game developers, you probably should make sure they're in 60 frames per second. Like, 30 frames just isn't really gonna cut it anymore when 60 frames is an option, and if you've told us that it's going to be in 60 frames, but your video's in 30 frames, it's gonna look real weird. So it'll also give us the opportunity to actually be able to really compare the way that footage looks and the way that gameplay looks, because we'll be able to see what the final piece is supposed to look like and really make a comparison. What are you doing? Another thing that I think will help us out a lot is being able to tag collaborators in the future. So when we've played games with other people, we can actually tag them on the video, which is pretty sweet. I think that that'll help us out a lot because a lot of times we all like to play games together, and sometimes, you know, people are like, where can I find that person? And if you forgot to put it in the description, then you're hosed. How do you feel about YouTube? How do you feel about YouTube? God, she's making no effort to get away at all. Boop. Okay, she's gone. Anywho, I think it's awesome. It's gonna improve the relationship between us and developers for sure, because we'll get to actually connect that way, and they'll be able to see, look, here's what we're doing, here's what we're making, here's an accurate representation, and then we'll be able to really take it in and make an informed decision about how we feel about it. And of course we can always keep on saying the whole, I bet that you made that with a PC instead of the actual in-game engine, blah blah blah. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because this community isn't just the players, right? This community is entirely players and developers, which means they've heard everything. They've heard everything that we've ever said about games that have shown us a trailer that turned out to be complete BS and then given us a game that's just nothing like it. They know. They know what happens when that happens. So there's going to be way more pressure there to really live up to expectations. Octodad free DLC is going to be coming out entitled Octodad Shorts. The trailer is hilarious. You guys should absolutely watch it. I was giggling to myself at my desk. It's basically just a response to us being like, hey, we really love the Octodad games. Can you give us more just like little stuff like challenges, just more Octodad? And they said, sure. Give you some free DLC, we'll make some more stuff. How's that sound? And we were like, yeah! So if you love the Octodad games, and specifically Octodad 2 Deadliest Catch, you should check out Shorts, coming in some weeks. I actually never finished Octodad 2. If you watched my playthrough, my beginning of a playthrough of that game, I got so frustrated at the part that I stopped at that I just never made it. I never beat it. I never got past that point. I was just like, how are you supposed to do this? This is impossible! But it's great, and I'm hoping that Octodad Shorts is more just like little mini games almost, like little situational games, where it's like, Dad, we need you to do this. Here's the sequence necessary for you to do that thing. Why did it get so dark in here all of a sudden? Well, my house has been possessed, so let's move on. As many of you know, The Sims 4 is there it is. As many of you know, The Sims 4 is coming out. There's been lots of hullabaloo, lots of excitement about the game, but of course in standard EA fashion, they're just making us angry again. EA have come out and said, sorry guys, but the final form of The Sims 4 game is not going to have pools. Oh, pools? How are we supposed to murder people? What are you doing, EA? Oh, no, not only pools. It's also going to be missing the entire toddler stage of life. What? Now this has sparked a very exciting conversation in every forum I've been to, because the conversation goes a little something like this. Somebody says, EA, why don't you just take the time to finish the game? And then somebody else says, this is their finished game. They want to release toddlers as DLC. They've literally made it sound like there are all of these things within the typical Sims universe that they've taken out and said, in the years to come, you're going to have all of the things that you require out of a Sims 4 game. Oh good, no, that's cool. I'm really excited for the pools expansion. And toddlers? What is that all about? That doesn't make any sense. They're like, yeah, I mean, we did the babies part, and we did the teenager adulty part, but like, I don't know, toddlers, that's a lot of work. But don't worry, because for the low price of $15.99, you can have the toddlers DLC. Stop. Stop it. Can't do this anymore, EA. And maybe they're innocent. Maybe this is nothing like how we're spinning it, and they're just gonna update the game with all sorts of toddlery goodness and pools and whatnot. Sorry, my forehead is itching and I'm trying to make it work. But like, I doubt it, you know? I really doubt it. Pretty much every time I talk about a community of modders, I talk about my old Sims experience with so much relish and love, because the way that the community worked back with Sims 1 was incredible. Sims 2, EA started to try to get a little more control in there, but you know, the modding community was still there. There was still a lot of camaraderie and whatnot, so I was like, alright, no, that's fine. EA's just trying to make it easier to make stuff. That's fine. Who cares? And then Sims 3 happened. And suddenly it was like it just died. And while I'm so excited for Sims 4, I'm also so prepared for the impending sadness. As a final bit of news, if you're not in the Destiny Alpha, you've still probably seen the footage of Peter Dinklage's amazing line, "That wizard came from the moon." This line has been turned into a very successful t-shirt that many people have bought, which is limited edition, by the way, so if you wanted to get your hands on that, you should probably head over to Bungie.com right now. But also just the fact that everybody who was interested in Destiny was like, is this how it's gonna be? Are the lines gonna be this bad? So to catch you up, Peter Dinklage is the voice of Ghost in Destiny. And Ghost's lines in the alpha are real bad, just real like, and then I did a thing and the stuff together. So basically the community came out and was like, man, those lines are real bad, Bungie. You gotta do something about that. And Bungie came forward and said, look, guys, those were the alpha lines. Those were like the place filler lines. They're not the final form. We're gonna upgrade them for beta. We're gonna record them again probably for the final launch, but this is alpha. So yeah, for any of you who are really excited about Peter Dinklage being in Destiny and then real sad when you heard the lines, you have to remember that it's alpha. Anytime you see anything from alpha footage to alpha gameplay, you just have to realize that it's the alpha form. It's going to be the absolute bare bones. And even if you're concerned that it isn't, that this is like the final form and that's what they're going to stick with, that's why they let people into the alpha in the first place, is so that those people can go to them and say, look, this isn't working. I don't know what your plan is for this, but just so you know, it's not working. And of course, because we're all cynical and mean, some of the response has been, I bet those were going to be the original lines, and then once everybody kicked up a fuss, they decided that they had to re-record it. I don't think that that would be true, just entirely based on the fact that they made a t-shirt of it. Like, if those were supposed to be the final lines and they were really happy with it, they would have been way more defensive about the critique that they got. But instead, they made a t-shirt and they laughed about it, and they've been enjoying all of the response and thought that it was very funny and said, look guys, don't worry, we're gonna record them again. Like, this is just, these are place filler lines. Either way, Peter Dinklage is a fantastic actor, and I'm not worried. I think that the lines in the end are gonna be beautiful and wonderful and whatever else. But if you were concerned, that's been Bungie's statement. And that's been my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, feel free to leave it in my comment section. And if you would like to have coffee with me, you can click wherever I put the annotation and it'll take you to my other channel. There was a Welcome to the Fandom that went up this week entitled How to End the World Without Zombies. I almost forgot what it was. Also, the newest Swords and Stitches is us burning the Monster Hunter design into the tabletop, so please check out both of those if you haven't watched them. And otherwise, I will talk to you guys again next weekend. Bye-bye! Mwah! What?